Here we are. Let's go ahead and just get started. Today, I'm going to be talking about our uh, Showings Plus feature, where you can go ahead and request showings on listings, and also how to manage your own requests for your own listings. And so right now, as you can see, I am in the homepage of the MLS, and one of our portlets on the MLS homepage is called Showings Plus. And in this portlet is where we're going to go ahead and manage all of our showings, any showings that we requested ourselves, or any showings that have been requested on our own listings. So the first thing is when you create a new listing, there is a question that it asks if you want to enable Showings Plus. So let's take a look at that really quick. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new listing. So if you don't know how to create a new listing, I advise you take that Slim webinar so you can learn how to add listings. So when you're creating a new listing, so I'm going to go into create new listing. We're going to go ahead and select the property type we're going to add to the MLS, right? So I'm going to use single family, for example. And I'm going to go ahead and search for the APN number. I don't have one on the top of my head here. So I'm just going to go ahead and search for this APN. Okay, and once we confirm all the information here, we're going to add the area. And so as we're entering the information on our listing, we're going to reach a section called Showings. And inside Showing, the first thing you see here is Enable Showings Plus. If we want to use Showings Plus so that we can request showings or agents can request showings on our listing, we're going to go ahead and say yes. If we do not want to use Showings Plus, I know some agents are like old school and just prefer to have calls, agents calling them to schedule a showing, then, you would say no in this case. And just for you, so you're aware, this little information button here, this little blue eye, that will just pretty much explain what Showings Plus is about, or you can manage and schedule all your other requests on your showings. You can go ahead and also click on this link, and it'll take you to a quick tutorial on how is Showings Plus working for your listing. So again, pretty simple. Just say yes if you want to go ahead and use Showings Plus, or say no if you do not want to go ahead and use Showings Plus. And then you just go ahead and continue with your listing, and then your listing will be enabled with Showings Plus. Now, to manage showings, like for example, if you want to black out some dates, like say for example, maybe on Mondays you're not available for showings, or on the weekends you're not available for any showings, you can black out some dates and times. Maybe you have some scheduled appointment. Maybe you have a doctor's appointment, or you're going away on vacation for a week and you won't be available for a week. You can go ahead and set up blackout dates within Showings Plus. So there are two different ways to access your listings and manage showings. You can go in here in Slim, since we're already inside Slim. You'll see that there is a column inside Slim that says showings, and it'll tell you if it's on or if it's off. Okay, so obviously for this cancel listing would be off. Sometimes we might have a listing that's on pending or hold, and we want to disable Showings Plus. We can go ahead and turn it off by just clicking on the word on or off, and that'll take us into managing Showings Plus for our listing. So right now what I did is I clicked on the on link for this listing that I have. And so since I already have it set up, it'll tell me the information right here on the top, as far as like what type of showings and from what time to what time I am available for showings, and how long I am allowing for each showing to for showings for with agents, the duration of the showings. So first thing you see here, well, is the information on my listing. There's the address for my listing, the main photo on my listing. And then I can also enable or disable showings when I'm in showing time. So right now, as you can see, it's on, it's turned on. If I want to disable it and turn it off, all I have to do is just switch that button to the off mode, so it won't allow any more showings to be requested on my listing. Then again, if I want to turn it back on, then you just switch it back on. There are some features in here. We have the private feature, and the private feature, it will not allow agents to schedule on their own. They would have to contact me, and I can go ahead and schedule that showings for agents on my own listing. So it's a private mode. Uh, as you can see there, when I hover my mouse on that little eye icon for information, it'll tell me that